That is Gnala, Fix Me, and before that Inhaler, a Dublin-based Inhaler, who one of the guys has a famous dad by the name of Bono. That is their latest track, We Have to Move On. All of the music we're playing tonight will be shared on our social media channels, either later tonight or during the course of tomorrow, from bands who don't get the airplay they deserve. Anyway, straight to it.
Well, we are keeping you up to date with the latest scores from our local teams. Crawley Town playing away at Crewe Alexandra in Football League 2. It's currently 0-0, coming up to 70 minutes played. John Yems is actually, we talked earlier in the show about the dynamic duo of Ashley Nadesan and Ollie Palmer, and so they've been dubbed Napalm on Twitter, but he's boldly taken them both off in a double substitution on 56 minutes.
Really?
Ricardo German and Mason Bloomfield have come on to replace them. Interesting move from the gaffer. We'll see if it pays off. Still 0-0 there. And East Grinstead Town are still 2-1 up at East Court against local rivals Three Bridges. What a week it would be for the Grinner if they could beat them twice.
Fingers crossed. 6 points in a matter of days after no wins in however many games it's been. Anyway, let's get straight to it. We got a couple of guests in the studio. We have Jimmy and Sabrina from Chagos Islands FA join us tonight. We've already spoken to Jimmy before. Good evening, Jimmy.
Good evening, guys.
Welcome to the studio. Yeah, good, thank you. Sabrina, you're the chair lady of Chagos Islands. Welcome to the studio. First time we've spoken to you. Let's kick things off with for people that don't know about the Chagos Islands and CONIFA. Jimmy, perhaps you wanted to start first. And what's it all about? You manage the Chagos Islands, which they're located in the Crawley area, and you're currently training for the CONIFA World Cup, which is being held in North Macedonia in the summer.
Yes, that's right. So the Chagos Island team are primarily made up of a lot of players from West Sussex, mostly in Crawley. They represent the Chagos Islands national team. They've qualified for the CONIFA World Cup that is being held from the 29th of May to the 7th of June in Skopje in North Macedonia. We have qualified ahead of some fairly big nations and countries such as North Cyprus and various others. So yeah, we've done very well to get there. Hard work is beginning now.
I can imagine. Sabrina, how does it all work? How did the Chagos Islands qualify for the CONIFA? What is the CONIFA, the group? As far as we've done our research, and we don't want to embarrass ourselves by trying to explain it. You might be able to explain it better than we can. Or have I put you on the spot already? From what we understand, it is a group of countries that aren't recognised by FIFA that play in the CONIFA World Cup or competition. Is that right?
Yes.
So how do the Chagos Islands qualify for that?
It's not the first time we will represent the Chagos Island for the CONIFA World Cup.
Oh, okay.
We represent the Chagos Island represent the island in 2016 from the first play we played in Abkhazia, and the second one was in London in 2018.
Okay.
So I got a friend from Belgium who introduced me to the secretary of the CONIFA. So and then we applied for it, and they done what can I say?
Due diligence.
Yes.
And their due diligence on Sabrina.
No, they just do some research about the Chagos Island, and also they just do like a raffle, and we got 16 players who has been qualified in the 2016. But in 2018, two teams don't come to the World Cup, and they contact me and told me if we would like to play, and we said yes. And for this year, we have been qualified as a global. We got the global ticket because we got a most point. So we are very happy we have been qualified for the World Cup.
Fantastic. And we were talking a little bit off air just then. It must be difficult to find new players to add to the squad, because it's not like Gareth Southgate, is it? That you can just watch a Premier League and have a pick of players. You've got to do a bit more research than that, or do you just know a group of players that you can choose from, or are you finding new players all the time?
No, we don't. We don't look for players. We are a small community. We got all the boys who play for Chagos Islands. come from a Chagosian mother or Chagosian father or their great grandfather.
Yep.
But we don't need to choose. We train every Thursday, so all of them came to training, and when we will select our 18 players, we will choose the one we need to bring to the World Cup.
Yeah, fantastic.
Okay, so I mean, forgive me if this is a silly question, but I guess the eligibility to play for these teams in the CONIFA World Cup, you have to have some sort of connection with the nation. You can't just be like an England reject and join a.
We brought this up at the AGM, didn't we? That there's a lot of minority states and unrecognised states. That you could go up against a team that could effectively bring in a lot of players, and you don't know how they qualify, where they qualify from. So in that retrospect, it's not as probably ironclad as what, say, FIFA would be, that you've got to be English born and bred, or you've got to have English grandparents. So for us, we're doing it. There's a few teams that are doing it the right way, and we will only use Chagosian players. We could go out, couldn't we, and get a lot of professional Mauritian players effectively if we really wanted to, but no, we won't do that. It will just be strictly Chagosian players. Sabrina wouldn't let me dare bring someone in without an ounce of Chagosian blood in them.
So you're keeping it real. I like it. So the draw has obviously been made. It's quite a tough group for you guys. How are you feeling ahead of the tournament?
We know, we were a few people called it the group of death originally, but I've changed that now. I actually apologise to the boys that trained in the week after, and I thought that was a bit negative from me. I got told off from my partner when I got home. She said you shouldn't be calling it the group of death, so I've changed tact a little bit and said it's probably the group of death for the other teams. So, but,
there you go.
There's no qualms about it. It's a tough group. We've got Kurdistan that are a little bit of an unknown quantity, aren't they? We've got Jersey and mine's gone blank. Who's the third one?
Let's hope they don't hear this.
Punjab.
Okay,
Punjab. Yeah. Harpreet won't let me forget for saying that.
But for Jimmy, I know, because it will be his first time to the World Cup with the Chagos Island. I know for him, when he saw this team, he's a little bit worried. But I will repeat it again today. For me, I'm not worried. I'm worried just about the Kurdistan, because we play Parish of Jersey. We know them. We know how they are. We play Punjab also. The boys know them a little bit more. But since I have Jimmy in the team, we can see the progress of the boys. For me, I'm very happy to have him on board, but slowly but surely the boys are growing up. So, like I always said, let's go to the World Cup and see.
Definitely, that's the best attitude to have.
Yeah, I mean, as alluded to, Jimmy, this is your first World Cup, and you've been coaching around. You said you were at Hawley Town.
I played at Hawley when I was quite a few years back now. Forget how old I am, but from there I went and finished my playing days over at Balcombe in the Mid Sussex League, and then I was coaching an under-18s youth team, Ferngate. Done reasonably well there, or quite well actually, without blowing my own trumpet. And then
blow away.
Went over to Oakwood, helped a good friend of mine, Mark Gilbert, who's still the first team manager. I think he's the longest serving manager in county football now. Helped him over for 2 or 3 seasons, and then the third season we finished third, couldn't go up because of ground grading, and then I went over to Crawley Down for a season. Enjoyed it there. Met some really, really good footballing people. They are a great club. I've got fond memories of it there. And then I went over to Alfold last year and won the league. And this season, unfortunately, I'm at Sabrina.
So you've had a lot of experience in this kind of, with respect to the lower divisions, and you've had a lot of different experiences and some successes with that. Joining this side, what did you see when you joined the side, and what do you feel that you've implemented there that have got you this far?
The biggest thing for me is the total different concept in that non-league you're managing a group of players, and you can effectively go out and pick players up. If you had a bit of money behind you could go and pick players up left, right and centre from higher leagues, lower leagues. It's a bit of an open canvas or blank canvas. With doing the CONIFA and doing an international team, you can only work with a group of players that are eligible. Whether they was all Ronaldo and Messi or whether they wasn't, that was the opposite end of the spectrum. You've got to actually go back to the basics in football, do a lot of coaching, teach a lot of people, and a lot of the Chagos boys haven't actually received much coaching, have they? So we've stripped it back a little bit, and we've also tried to professionalise it. We've got probably quite a good setup now. We've got a strength and conditioning coach. We've got a performance analysis. We've got a few other coaches that just assist. So yeah, we're going in the right direction, just making it a little bit more professional, really.
So there's obviously a lot of work goes in. Is it a full-time job for you guys? I mean, or how much of your time does it take? It must be quite a lot for the pair of you.
Yeah, I've got to be a bit careful, really. I mean, my company are only around the corner, but yeah, it's not a full-time job. I think it could run away with you if you don't manage it. If you don't get a lot of people in to help you, it could quite easily run away with you, and you could probably spend a lot of your time doing it. I've gone down a different road in getting a lot of people in, thinking that a lot of hands will make it easier work, but also getting the right people in, because since we qualified for the World Cup, we've been inundated with people offering their services for the World Cup. So obviously we're not stupid. We know a lot of people think it'll be a free holiday, but I think when we get out there, people realise how intense it is. We're travelling out there for 8 days, and we've got to play 3 group games, and if you don't qualify, you still have to play 3 placement games.
Right.
Oh, okay.
So if you do qualify, you then play a quarter final. If you lose that, then you play 2 placement matches. So effectively, you're going to play 6 games no matter what, and that'll be, we land on the Friday, play Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday rest, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday we're playing again, and then teams that don't make it will all be watching the final, I expect. But yeah, 6 games. I spoke to my physio, I spoke to my head of performance analysis the other day about it, and everyone understands 6 games in 8 days is killer.
That's intense. That's really intense. Yeah,
football,
yeah.
You're playing against some good players and professional players, semi-professional players. So it's a lot. My physio's got his work cut out.
So I suppose it's a good thing that no one's really going to be going home early. Like, you put a lot of effort in to get there. There's no, like, if you don't get past the group stages, you're not just doing the next flight home. You do get to enjoy the rest of the tournament. Well, if you can enjoy it at that stage, being knocked out, but you kind of get a good amount of time out there, regardless of the performances.
Yeah, no, definitely. We'll be out there for the 8 days, and we've got a target. We've got a target which we've set, me and the management team, so we want to do well. You
care to share your target, or is that still behind closed doors?
We want to win 2 games out of 3 and get out of the group, so I haven't got a target past that. If we can win 2 games out of 3, we get out of the group, then we know we're guaranteed to finish in the top 8. I think, looking back on previous World Cup results, I think going into this World Cup, Sabrina, we're a lot better prepared, aren't we? We've got a lot more people on board. The players are a lot better prepared, so I'm quietly confident. I know there's a lot of teams that expect we are the minnows in it, with the smallest population, smallest team in it, so a lot of teams are probably not too worried about us, and I quite like that, because when I get out there's going to be a lot of players people ain't seen, and it's going to be a total different Chagos team that they've all experienced before.
Do you have any sort of intimidation tactics? Iceland did it with like the hacker or the Iceland.
Sabrina run around the pitch.
Yeah,
they'll soon go running. For Sabrina.
So you'll definitely make yourself heard. But I mean, so obviously there's a heck of a lot of preparation done on and off the pitch and in the build up, and you talked about the depth of your squad and the staff around the squad, but perhaps the biggest challenge now at this stage for you is actually getting there. As you said, remind me where it's in
Skopje in North Macedonia.
So they don't have regular flights there, I'd imagine, from Gatwick Airport. But
you've got to get about 4 or 5 connecting flights.
Wow. Okay,
is that right? Wow.
It's quite a lot. You've got to get 18 man squad, staff and players over there, and it's quite an expense, so you guys are going to need a bit of help with that.
Yeah, we're quite lucky in that CONIFA, how it's sponsored, the sponsors, Sportsbet, are obviously very generous. They sponsor it. CONIFA do struggle for sponsorship, and CONIFA actually cover all accommodation, internal travel, and all your food and drink whilst you're out there, so you're looked after in that retrospect. Otherwise it could run into the tens of thousands. But for our flights for 18 players and 10 staff, we're looking at about 8 or 9 grand. So we've done a crowdfunder since I last spoke to you.
Yeah.
We've raised about £1,200. So yeah,
Okay.
we've got a fair bit more to do. We had a charity game actually this Sunday up in Yorkshire, and obviously the tornadoes and the weather, paid for that. So we was about to all get on the coach at Crawley, and then we had to, just on health and safety grounds, and the winds were, it was never going to go ahead. And if it did go ahead, we would have realistically had a attendance of about 10 to 15 people with their dogs. So it would have cost us more money than the coach up there, and we wouldn't have earned nothing back. So it was just a logical decision to make.
So you have a crowdfunder going on currently at the moment. How can people find that crowdfunder?
On Twitter, so if you go to @Chagos Island, which is spelled CHAGOS Island, ISLAND, it's actually our pinned tweet, and it's also on our Facebook page, which is Chagos Island Football Association. You'll find it on there as well, and donate away.
We'll share all that on our social channels as well, and we encourage people to come forward, donate, help these guys get out to North Macedonia. Which has anybody been out there to check it out, or is there any feedback on what the pitches are like out there at all?
Yeah, so at the AGM
that was in Jersey, wasn't it? Quite recently, yeah.
A couple of weeks ago. So me and Sabrina went out for that. It was a 2-day AGM. The first day nearly killed us, didn't it? We was in there from 9 o'clock till 9 o'clock at night. There was a few differences of opinion going on. So
really?
We was in there. I think me and Sabrina eventually rolled out of there just before 9 o'clock. So that was quite intense. But on the Sunday,
is that all about arrangements for the World Cup, or is it just?
Yes, it was.
Was it really?
The Sunday wasn't it? And then the Saturday was.
The Sunday was for the draw.
Oh, okay. Yes. Yeah. Saw the draw come up on Twitter. Yeah.
Sunday was the draw, and then they spoke logistics.
Yeah.
Spoke logistics and various other things about the women's side of CONIFA starting up. So the Sunday we learnt more, but the Saturday was more obviously the internal stuff, accounts and stuff like that.
Yeah. Fantastic. Well, we wish you luck with the crowdfunding. And obviously the training as well. Obviously that's a big part of it. Getting the guys fit. I'm guessing these guys, have a job as well as playing football as well. So I can imagine how difficult that is to do that. Both sides of it. But there's a lot to look forward to with a trip to CONIFA World Cup. I think that's fantastic.
Yeah, we got some students also who play for some at university, some still at college, and some who is working.
So what's the average age of the squad at the moment? Do you know roughly?
Very young.
The youngest one is 16.
Yeah, and the oldest one?
35.
Oh, right, okay. So you got a couple of old experienced players in there just to...
Only one or two, yeah.
Well, yeah.
Our average age is actually very young, so the Chagos Island team's in good hands for a good few years yet.
Fantastic. Well, we're going to stay in touch with you between now and obviously the World Cup as well, and we'll follow your progress in the World Cup. How many groups is it? Is it 4 groups?
4 groups of 4.
4 groups of 4 teams. Proper, yeah. I remember seeing when you were in Jersey, they were sharing all the live draw on Twitter and that. So I was keeping a good eye on you. Who's the holders?
It is Car. I don't know how you say it. tricky Eastern European name. Car. It's Car Patalia, is it? They're the holders.
And they won it in London, is that right?
Yes. Yeah, they beat North Cyprus, didn't they?
Oh, okay.
So North Cyprus actually haven't qualified for this draw, and so there's some fairly big countries that are funded by a fully functioning government, and they're a fully functioning state. They're just not recognised by FIFA and the rest of the world. So we've done very well to get there.
You have, yeah. That's fantastic.
We just need to find a government of our own.
Yeah. Well, if there's any governments out there looking to take something on, by all means.
Yeah, just be careful what you wish for, I suppose. So that's at Chagos Island, CHAGOS Island on Twitter. Their pinned tweet at the top of their page is their justgiving.com page to help donate to raise funds for their flights over. It's going to cost in the region of £9,000. So any donation will help greatly towards that. We wish you absolutely the best of luck. We'll try and speak to you before you head out. Remind us of the dates of the tournament.
So we fly out on the 29th of May, on Friday the 29th of May.
Okay.
And we come back on the 7th of June. Okay,
well we'll have a keen eye on your progress. We'll keep plugging away at your Your Just Giving page as well. We hope we can raise as much money as possible for that. We really want you guys to get out there safe and hopefully have a good tournament.
Lovely. Thanks very much, guys.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks, Sabrina. Thanks, Jimmy.
Thank you.